Hey y'all,
How's
it's
it going, y'all?
Cherise
And Luke
from the Rustic Foodies. Oh, we got that really good.
That wasn't bad. So today we're doing one of my all-time favorite recipes, and we're doing some tri-tip fries. I'm a big fan of carne asada fries. You won't find many bigger fans than me, but I think that it's better with tri-tip personally.
But how did you get started with barbecuing?
So I went out one day and I bought a $25, one of those little Kingston, grills, and I put it together. Right when I bought it, I knew it had a defective leg, but I was like, you know what? I'm barbecuing. We're gonna make stuff. We made some lobster tails. We made different types of meat. Different stuff. We'll have more recipes coming on all that stuff. But then, that defective leg, it gave out one day, and, I'm holding up a grill, saving a fire while I'm trying to finish the ribeye steaks we paid for,
I was in the house, and I hear you, oh no, Cherise, come here, and I go, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? It's dark outside, y'all.
I needed help. It was pitch black.
Only the fire and him.
We'll put a picture of that grill up on the screen right now, but... It was, that was my first grill, and we do have a secret seasoning too that we've kind of tweaked, we've worked with. So let's jump on in.
Jump on in.
Yeah!
Yeah, what?
Now the first step to this recipe is to season your tri-tip. Preferably, you want to do this the day before, but a good 4 to 6 hours prior to cooking should do just fine. Luckily for me, Cherise is the seasoning master. You're going to want to coat that tri-tip with olive oil before you're putting your seasoning on. Now we have our own secret seasoning we use, but you can use any steak seasoning or red meat seasoning you like. Just make sure to get all those ends before wrapping it up and throwing it back in the fridge. After that grill is nice and hot, I have a little trick that actually Cherise's dad, Mr. Woodley, taught me. You want to take half an onion and just rub it on the grill. That onion prevents all the sticking to the grill, and it also adds a nice layer of flavor. Right here we have about a 2.5 to 3 pound tri-tip. So you want your grill to be about 3 to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. As you throw your tri-tips on, you want to throw them right on the heat. Let each side char about 10 minutes or so, could be about 15 or 20, depending how big your tri-tip is. As you can see here, the first full side of that tri-tip did not fully char and blacken, so I turned it back and I let that thicker side fully char to get that full flavor. And once your tri-tip is nicely blackened on each side, you want to take that tri-tip off of the heat and you want to lower down the temperature to about 275 to 300 degrees by partially closing the grids. Now, this step is important. You want to add a little bit of wood. Right here we have some hickory and some apple. And now this smokiness that you add is going to add a strong layer of flavor to the final dish. The other ingredients we use are obviously some big russet potatoes, peeled, an avocado, and a bit of lime and cilantro, and a habanero if you like it spicy. Now we also add some of our homemade salsa, but a recipe for that is going to be coming soon. Now you want to cut your potatoes nice and thin. The trick that I found is cut each potato into thirds, and then cut each third of the potato also into even thirds. Now the more even you get the cuts, the more even the potatoes fry. To soften those potatoes up, just boil them in a bit of hot salt water for maybe a couple minutes until they're just about to fall apart. Now after the fries are nice and soft, you want to put them on a baking sheet with generous amounts of olive oil on the bottom and the top. After all, these fries are oven fried. Now you can season these fries how you like. Here we do some salt, some pepper, paprika. You can also add some garlic salt and garlic powder too. Now you're going to want to throw your fries in at 450 degrees for 30 to 40 minutes. It depends on how big your fries are, how big your potatoes were, and how much oil that you use. Now after that time is up, you want to flip those back over, add some more oil, and throw them back in the oven. Now while your fries are finishing up their last 30 to 45 minutes, and your tri-tip's finishing up too, now's a good time to prep the rest of your meal. Dice up the cilantro, and you can cut up the avocado just how you like. I like to mince the habanero very fine, so you get just a bit in each bite. About 30 to 45 minutes later, your fries should be done. They should be nicely browned on each side, crunchy, and soft on the inside. Around that same time, your tri-tip should be done too. It should look caramelized and charred on the outside and just lightly pink on the inside. A big pointer, just make sure when you cut your tri-tip, you're cutting against the grain. If you cut with the grain, with the lines of the meat, it's going to be stringy, it's going to be tough to eat, and it's going to get stuck in your teeth. Now you can cook the most perfect tri-tip, but if you cut it wrong, it's only going to be so good. I can't stress this enough. Now for this specific recipe, I like to cut the tri-tip one way, and then I like to dice it up real fine so it's almost like those small bits of carne asada that go on your fries. Now once you're plating, just make sure to add a bunch of fries, add a bunch of meat, and whatever toppings you like. Now it's time to eat! Howdy, y'all.
Howdy.
If you like flavor blasted stuff, I'm not talking about goldfish. I'm talking about if you like flavor blast, like.
We got the wrong plate.
Wrong? So good night, y'all.